Carl Coulange here for the Sports Hit List. Thank you for watching. By the fans and for the fans. As always, we have our cast. Anthony, Ziggy filling in for Greg. Where is he?
I don't know. You asking me. I don't know where that man is.
Well, you sitting in the seat. You keeping it warm for him, so you should know where he's at.
He's probably somewhere buying a passion fruit colored shirt or something like that. That's where he is.
Kenny Irving. And we have a very special guest, second time on the Sports Hit List, Roman Perez. Roman, man, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you guys for having me back.
This is the table now. Before it was just me and you. Now it's a whole set.
Nice, nice.
So what brings you to the show today?
Well, today I want to talk about the Dudo Baez Basketball Academy and also the Dudo Baez All-Stars in the Dominican Republic and here in New York. Both programs that are going on for about a year now. And just, you know, want to spread the word about both programs.
All right, I remember the last time you were here, we were discussing about you're playing basketball overseas and all you do. So now you're starting on an academy over there.
Yeah, you know, I'm still currently playing overseas. Just got back from playing in Mexico and in my country, in Dominican Republic.
Okay.
And you know, my dad was from San Jose de Ocoa. That's a town in the Dominican Republic. And, you know, I just want to keep his name alive in the town that he loved. And it wouldn't be a better way to keep it alive with the youth.
How do you find time to just play, and now you have the basketball program and you teach too, right?
Yeah, also train basketball players as well.
Right. So where does the time come into to manage them?
It's all about time management. You know, at times it's tiring, at times it's hard, but if you plan everything in advance, you know, everything comes out good.
That's cool.
Now, how did you go about, you know, getting involved and getting the players to get into a program that they don't really know too much about? Since it's, you know, coming up off the floors, you know, how do you starting off, how did you get that going?
Basically, I have a friend, Carlos Mignetti in the Dominican Republic, former player as well. Now he's a full-time coach and a trainer in the Dominican Republic. And yeah, he brought the idea up of, you know, having an academy under my father's name. You know, everybody in that town, especially family members, you know, they really loved how my father was with his kids, with me and my brother, and also with other basketball players here in New York, the love that he showed, the passion. So, you know, the idea of the academy now is basically to give that love and passion back, not only to family members, but to also upcoming youth that want to play the game of basketball.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dominican Republic is a big baseball country. So how did it come about where you could form an academy where you could get kids who didn't necessarily want to play baseball and found another avenue to play basketball or discover basketball? How did that come about as far as, you know, because it's such a big baseball country, you don't know if they're like, especially how it's advertised, you don't think there's other room for other sports in the country besides baseball?
I mean, in the last 5 to 10 years, there's been NBA players from the Dominican Republic, Al Holford, Francisco Garcia, Felipe Lopez, and then, you know, there's other several, you know, college Division I athletes as well that have, you know, played in a high level. So basketball right now is actually the #2 sport in my country, and, you know, is a really respected sport and is growing because of those athletes that made it to the NBA and even overseas.
And just to follow up real quick, how do you think has grown? What happened where you think there was now this big kind of basketball explosion where a lot of kids want to play basketball or find another sport to play besides baseball?
It's the same thing that's going on. You know, basketball is a fun sport. You know, now, you know, with technology, you know, the internet in the last 10 to 15 years, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, they can see, you know, their favorite old, you know, a lot of exposure. So now
Why'd
these
you have
kids.
to say those names, man? You have those first 2 names that come to your mind and
As
say,
it should be.
You know. So, you know, like, you know, now, like, it's not only basketball in my country. Now it's basketball. You know, now the whole Dominican Republic, and I can say Latin America, you know, basketball is a major sport. It's not only baseball. So, and yeah, even here in New York, growing up, why you play basketball? I think you look like a baseball player. But it's just that, you know, the game of basketball is a game that is totally different from any other sport.
Yeah, you don't need that many kids to play either, right?
I mean, I think that's a different in terms of the area of New York you come from, because from mine, it was always basketball. Then,
where's that at?
Well, Long Island.
Oh, okay.
Long Island, the 6th borough. So, you know, it was basketball first, then I would say baseball. But
Was your dad passionate about basketball?
My dad didn't play basketball.
No.
When I first started playing basketball seriously at the age of 16, he, how can I say it? He wasn't really a fan of basketball. Me and my brother would play, and he wasn't like interested in like the game, but he saw the passion and love we had for it, which either was collecting basketball cards, playing basketball video games, you know, going to little pickup games. He will always see that love that we have for the game, and that love throughout the years grew in him.
So he would support his sons, and from that he went on to...
Yeah. So then, you know, I remember the last vivid memory I had was in 2014 when the Mavericks was in the playoffs, and we would always call Vince Carter the number 15.
Right.
So in Spanish, el 15. So he called me, oh, I don't know if you guys remember that playoff shot that Vince Carter hit in the corner.
Buzzer beater, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I remember my dad calling me, oh, Roman, el 15, the number 15, he made the corner shot. So right there, I already knew that, you know, basketball was already in his blood. Even though he didn't grow up playing it, even though he didn't know anything about it, our passion grew in him.
So how many kids do you have in the program, and how do you guys market in terms of trying to recruit people, kids to play?
As far as here in New York City, I have about 10 to 15 kids, 19 and under. Right now, what I have them playing is other high school and college programs, you know, trying to build a program here.
Mm-hmm.
In the Dominican Republic, we have about 15 to 60 boys and girls.
Wow.
From the age of 12 to 19. You know, we'll have a couple 20, 21-year-old guys that when the director, Carlos, in the Dominican Republic,
right.
when he can't make the practices, we have those 20, 21-year-old, you know, youth to run the program.
Okay.
But yeah, it's growing. Right now it's in San Jose de Ocoa, but right now it's grown to other, how can I say, states in the Dominican Republic, other towns.
Is it all year round, or is it specific? Is it just basketball season?
I think as we speak right now, they're practicing right now. It's all year round.
Oh wow, that's great.
What's the requirements?
It's great weather out there.
The requirements,
Yeah, right.
what was that?
No, he said
It's great weather out there.
Yeah,
It's great weather, so it's all year round.
There is no winter out there. I forgot.
Like when we have the gym, they practice in the gym. But let's say they're using the gym for activities, you know, whether it's at the church or whatever it is,
Right.
then they train outside.
Okay.
So, and these are players that are hungry. You know, some of them are 18, 19-year-olds that they want to come here and play college basketball here. And we're in the talks of it with coaches here to recruit some players from that academy, our academy. So, you know, hey, maybe if this works, then we can grow.
Would
from
you
there.
say that they're hungrier than players who are here? Like,
To be honest, sorry to cut you, they are hungry. I went to the Dominican Republic last year on a professional tour, and I took 5 to 7 players to that town, San Jose de Ocoa, and man, when they saw these guys, 14, 15-year-old kids dunking, windmills,
Nice.
like, you know, grown men here,
Right.
seeing them sprint, seeing them, you know, grind every single day to see for an opportunity, because remember, DR is a third world country,
Right.
you know, it's poor.
Right.
So for some of these kids, this is all they got.
Right.
So it's no requirements. They can all ages. It's all
You have to have some type of skill,
okay.
but I started playing basketball at the age of 16. So the thing is that you don't have to be good to participate in this academy. If you're disciplined and you're focused in the sport, not only is it going to help you with basketball, it's going to also help you for school as well.
I think I may have a career change. Maybe I should come down to the academy and have my skills. Because my skills are terrible, I'll be honest. But
Yeah, he could teach you how to yell.
Hey, why not?
Does the academy just strictly train, or do you have tournaments, or how do you get do you create teams where people could?
So right now we have, as we speak right now, this weekend, the boys, the 15 under boys, there's 4 from our academy that were selected on a trial that they went to a month ago for the 15 and under a national tournament.
That's cool.
It's like the top 40 15 and unders in the whole Dominican Republic, and 4 of our kids from our academy are participating in that event right now this weekend. So every month, every other month, we have they call, you know, Carlos, the director of our academy, hey, this guy, this player, or even this girl, you know, they can come through to this tournament. Can they come try out?
Right.
So, you know, every month there's different activities, but while those activities are in process, in between, they are working hard on the game.
When was the last time you was able to visit DR to oversee everything that's going on?
Yeah, I was there in April. I was playing basketball over there professionally in San Francisco de Macorís, a town over there. And I slipped. I spoke to the owners that I wanted to slip up to go to San Jose de Ocoa, 4-hour drive. And man, when I went there, I went with one of my cousins, my family members. They were so excited to see me because I'm like the president.
Right.
And you know, and Dudo Baez is my father, so them
okay.
seeing me is like, oh my God, like
Right.
the guy
You get
that
to see
helps
the
us.
guy, right.
We sent the box out. I got donations from professional teams, friends, communities, we send a box of, you know, like my size,
Right.
of clothes, sneakers, used clothes for the academy, and that was like a Christmas gift for them.
So you're finding here it's easy to get funding for, you know, donations, and how is that? So stuff here is funding the program in DR?
Right now it's basically all me.
Wow.
Which is hard because, you know, I have my family here and I have my program here as well, and I'm still currently a basketball player. So managing all that is at times it's difficult, but I thank God because I have support from friends. But yeah, you know, like the goal is to have, because Carlos, the guy that runs the academy, like I was telling him backstage, he's killing himself. Like, you know, with the girls, with the boys, training them, right now he's with them in a town 4 hours away with the 4 boys, taking them to see if, you know, if a college scout can recruit them to come here even for high school, college. So he's killing himself basically, you know, out of his will, you know, in hopes that in the future we'll have support. So that, you know, hey, you know what, this can become something that can not only benefit the youth, but can benefit us as well in a good way. You know?
Do they travel from town to town?
Yeah, they travel from town to town. Remember, transportation, we got to pay for our own hotels. So
Now, how far is that town from like Santo Domingo? Where I guess that's
San Jose Locoa?
Yeah.
San Jose Locoa is 2 hours.
All right, so just to have context on how far. Is it a big town or is it
It's a small town.
Small town.
It's actually a tourist town. It's mountains, like Jurassic Park type of.
Does he has other coaches who are with each program working with them?
Right now in San Jose Locoa, the Dudo Baez Academy is only run by him.
Only run by him. So what's his, would you say, what are they being taught? Because a lot of times we see with players here, we don't have that many big men anymore.
Yeah.
So are they being taught to be shooters like a Steph? Are they being taught, you know, to play in the post? Like how is it, what's the mechanics or the fundamentals being?
Yeah, first is by age. When it's girls' day, it's girls' day. When it's boys' day, it's boys' days. But he has it like big men stations. Like big men trains like big men, guard trains like guard. But the main thing with him is that he teaches them discipline and respect because remember, in Dominican Republic, some of the school finishes at 12 p.m. They have the whole day to do whatever they want. Basketball is a tool for them to stay focused so that they can go to school and in hopes of not even coming here, but going to school in the Dominican Republic and who knows, playing in high school and college over there.
Did you ever think about, I know the NBA has the Basketball Without Borders program where they reach out to international programs to help develop youths. Is that possibly an option to help expand your?
Yeah, I reached out to the NBA NBA junior program, and they gave us a bunch of cones and ladders and basketball equipment.
That's cool.
You know, and which they use. The whistles, they gave us like 20 whistles.
That's cool.
I believe it's NBA Cares.
Okay.
And they gave us a whole box full of stuff.
And everything helps pretty much.
Yeah, any little thing helps.
Right.
You know, there's some kids that even a pair of socks. And I'm being for real.
Yeah.
Even
I
a pair of
understand.
socks
It's
is
that
like,
real down there.
they'll see like, wow, like that's $100 for a pair of socks.
Where can people, you can send the donations or to call us that information or online where they can go to have?
Yeah, my contact, Roman Perez. You can find me on Facebook. Also Instagram, Roman Perez 4. Also follow the Dudo Baez Basketball Academy on Facebook. We have our own page. Just like that, Dudo Baez, D-U-D-O, and then Baez, B-A-E-Z. And you can see that the pictures, videos of them practicing on a constant basis, tournaments, you know, it's a whole year thing
Spell
around.
out your email address for them. So
My email address is rp0421@msn.com.
Yeah, he's the PR guy. He's good at that.
Got to know where to reach you.
But right now,
I have a lot of jobs.
100%.
Yeah, you have some of your players here with you too, right?
So
let's get a shot of those guys in studio.
So I have with me Sean Hayward.
Go ahead, guys.
I have with me Sean Hayward. Raise your hand. One of the players that's part of the New York AAU programs, currently in college right now. And I have Joybel Perez, currently in the 15 and under Dominican Republic national team. So that's been a big accomplishment for us, not only here, but in Dominican Republic as well. Carl, guys, thank you guys for having me on the show. I really appreciate it and hopes that, you know, the viewers not only support the Dudo Baez Academy, but also the Sports Hit List show because you guys are great.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Have a good day, guys.